It's a well-known fact that we in the UK are obsessed with property prices. Well, now, one innovative provider has come up with a product that allows you to invest in house prices without actually buying a property. The product's called a houser, it's spelled H-O-U-S-A. The provider is Castle Trust, and here to explain more about it is Executive Director Matthew Wiles. Matthew, welcome.
Thank you, Paula.
To start off, can you explain the thinking behind introducing this new product?
Well, very simply, owning a property in the UK is a big undertaking. And what we wanted to do was to provide investors with the opportunity to make relatively small investments initially in property, so our minimum deposit is £1,000, and to get a broad exposure to the UK index rather than concentrating on the value of a single property. So it's the first serious opportunity to buy unitised house prices.
And why have you decided to link the houser to the Halifax House Price Index rather than the half dozen other indices around?
Well, you're right, there are lots of possibilities, but Halifax is very well known, it's very well respected, it's long established, and we thought it was a great choice.
There are different types of houser product available. Could you quickly run us through the different types?
The details are available on our website, but very briefly, they come in growth and foundation versions. So one has capital protected at maturity, and one is a capital at risk product. And you can buy either the Halifax UK index or you can buy the Halifax Greater London index if you want to concentrate on that specific regional focus.
The UK housing market's proved very resilient in the past. It's bounced back in most regions strongly since 2007. But what if the market were to take a downturn? What happens to investors' money then?
Well, I think like any at-risk investment, equities, bonds, whatever the asset class, you need to look at these assets as a long-term rather than as a speculation, as a long-term investment. But actually, UK housing has lower volatility than either equities or bonds have in the long term, and actually have delivered very steady, unexciting but valid growth for the last 30 years. So it's a good conservative choice as an asset class.
So I give my money to Castle Trust. What do you do with it to generate these returns?
So you're right, effectively we're selling you, the investor, house price inflation, and that means we have to generate house price inflation from somewhere, and we do. And the way we do it is that we're also a mortgage lender. And so we only lend to prime customers, we're a prime mortgage lender, but instead of charging conventional interest rates, part of what we get paid by our mortgage customers is denominated in house price inflation. So the net effect is that we receive house price inflation from our borrowers and we pay house price inflation to our investors.
This is a very different product, so I'm a bit nervous. Can you reassure me, is my money safe?
Well, we would say, of course, your money is safe. We're a FCA-regulated institution, very well capitalised, set up in 2012. But of course, that's a question which it's quite natural to ask. And the simple answer is that all of the products are protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, providing the investor is eligible. And as you probably know, the limit per eligible investor is £50,000. That's per customer.
What sort of investors then are you expecting to attract?
Well, I think it's a great diversifier for somebody who is constructing a broad portfolio, and it's housing, UK housing, is a nice adjunct to the more traditional asset classes, equities, bonds, commodities and so on. But I think there's some really exciting applications for the houser. For example, a grandparent who wants to start helping make provision for a grandchild's future housing needs. They could put that deposit into a houser, knowing that if house prices take off like a cruise missile, that's going to be reflected in the returns that they get in their houser. So it's a great way, if you're thinking about housing needs for the future, either for yourself or for your children, your children's children, that you can hedge, at least to some degree, that exposure by investing in a houser. If the market doesn't go up particularly strongly, your houser won't rise as rapidly, but then of course the prices you pay when you actually buy a home will be lower as a consequence.
I'm very excited. I'm sold. I want one of these. How do I get in? Can I come to you directly or do I go through an advisor?
Yeah, so you can come directly to us at www.castletrust.co.uk, or you can buy via a qualified intermediary, a financial advisor. It's not available through all financial advisors, but there are plenty around who have access to it. And if you talk to your financial advisor and decide you want to invest, he'll find it very easy to get to us.
Matthew Wells of Castle Trust, thank you for telling us all about the Houser.
Thank you very much, Paula.